take off, take flight with you. For we never fly, but we're flying.
Welcome to Take Flight Podcast. This is episode number 122, and this is one of our Take Flight Takeaway episodes. These are short episodes where one of the co-hosts of Take Flight Podcast walks you through a topic or area that they are interested in. On this week's episode, I want to answer a really important question. Who am I? Now, we have over 100 episodes, and I thought I want to use this as an opportunity to introduce myself to the listeners, to just take you on a journey, my journey, and how I arrived to this place and on the Take Flight podcast. I'm going to start with the main question. Who am I? Now, this ain't a first date. It's not a job interview. But the question, who am I, is such a deep and difficult question to answer. Because are you referring to an old version of myself, a past version, my current version, or a future aspirational version of myself? Are you referring to my physical appearance, my spiritual life, my career, my relationship? It's a very difficult question to answer. So the way I'm going to answer this question is by taking you on my journey. I was born in Nigeria, moved to the UK when I was 4 years old. Growing up, I was an average student athlete pursuing a football career. I did make it. Growing up in a Nigerian household, education is really important. Your parents want to know, are you going to be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant? So I had to pivot and focus on university. I graduated with a first-class degree in finance, and I joined an American conglomerate where I was a consultant and traveled for 5 to 6 years. Now, this was an amazing experience. I got to travel the world, meet new people, immerse myself in new cultures. After that, I moved back to the UK. For the last 4 or 5 years, I've been working in the corporate space in finance. And outside of that, I'm the youngest. I've got nephews, which I love to spend time with, friends. And sort of my future aspirations are to be a father, a husband. I've got a goal to be a millionaire, net worth millionaire, by the age of 35. Some other key milestones are I was able to purchase my first property at the age of 23. The last 3 years, I was able to start a 6-figure business, which is going really well in the property space. Now, if you were to ask my friends, who am I, right? If they had to give you 3 characteristics of myself, I think they'll say I'm extremely competitive. I hate to lose. Nothing wrong with that, right? I'm extremely competitive. I hold my hands up. They would also say I'm extremely helpful and caring. When it comes to family, friends, I'm willing to do anything in my capacity to help them. And lastly, I'm very sociable. I love to meet new people. I love to hear about their experiences. I'm a social butterfly. So now I've explained who am I. So why did I join up with Daniel, Pabilo, and Shewell on Take Flight podcast? And the reason is because I really wanted to create a community of like-minded people in the UK from minority backgrounds where we could empower and educate each other. So that's why for our episodes, we're really focused on finance, financial freedom, business acumens, and a multiple of topics around businesses. So you're probably wondering why you should listen, right? So like I mentioned before, I've worked in the corporate finance space for the last 10 years. I've worked on transformations, strategies, a CFO of a business. So a vast amount of experience in the business and finance space. I've started a 6-figure business in the property industry, purchased my first property at the age of 23. So I know all about budgeting, purchasing properties. Since then, I've purchased multiple other properties. And lastly, I'm a avid listener and learner. Like, I'm not here saying that I'm the complete article, far from, but I'm always learning and willing to share it with my community. So for those reasons, that's why Take Flight Podcast was perfect for myself and why I decided to team up with the other folks on the Take Flight Podcast and create a community where we can empower, share, and go on this journey together. So what I would advise you to do is ask yourself the question also, who am I? And the reason why asking yourself this question, who am I, is so important is because you're able to look at your past and your current self and ask yourself, are you happy with the version of yourself? And if not, you're able to then put down goals and areas in which you should focus on to create the version of yourself that you want to be in the future. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video and this episode. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on Take Flight Podcast. Take care and God bless.
Take off, take flight with you. Yeah, for we never fly, but we're flying.